Hi music lovers, Cat with Hats here. I'm still in California and today I was very lucky to get a date with Thomas Lang.
Hey guys, it's Thomas here.
Thomas, and in case you don't know Thomas, he's been awarded Best Pop Drummer, Best Session Drummer, Best All-Around Drummer, Best Clinician by, by numerous institutions. He has his own signature sticks.
Yes, I do. We'll show you more about those in a minute, actually.
Yeah, we will. And he has his own signature cymbals.
Yes.
And besides being a drummer, he's also, a clinician, an author, and a composer and producer.
I am.
It's amazing.
Thank you.
Well, get to know Thomas a little bit better in a short profile.
My name is Thomas Lang, and I'm 48. Born in Vienna, Austria, and now living in Los Angeles, California. Endorsed by Drum Workshop Drums, Meinl cymbals, Vic Firth drumsticks, Remo drumheads, Roland electronics, Audix microphones, and Hands and Foot's practice pedals. A student, I had lessons from day one when I was 5 years old and I started playing the drums. I had a fantastic teacher and had lessons pretty much all my life until I left the Conservatory of Music in Vienna, and also took private lessons after that. And I still do. I meet with other drummers and take lessons and get inspiration from other players as much as I can. I'm an all-round drummer. I play everything. I like all styles of music. I like to play very, very simple music, pop music, groove-based music, song-based music, but I also play a lot of complex muso, shreddy music. I like to cover all styles. I feel comfortable in all styles, and I like to see myself as an all-around player. I'm a terrible person. I'm not well educated. I'm pretty stupid. I think I have a terrible character. I'm egotistical. I'm mean to people. Nobody likes me, and I don't like anybody. So I'm a terrible person. You don't want to hang out with me. I don't know. People say I'm pretty nice, so I'm an honest person, and I am a very direct person, and I think I'm a very hard worker, and I think I'm very focused. I like to have a good time. There was never a plan B, and there still isn't. Maybe I should come up with a plan B. No, as soon as I found out that playing drums for a living or making music for a living is an option, I went for that. And I never had a plan B. I made no compromises, and I took no prisoners. So I just went for it, and I still do, and I'm very lucky. And I know that I'm very lucky and blessed to be able to do this, and I hope to be able to continue as long as possible. The first concert I attended, that's a good question. Well, it was very small, sort of local bands that played in the small town where I grew up in Austria. Nothing, too impressive, or no famous bands, just local bands. And in fact, I was inspired to play the drums after seeing a drummer on television and then going to a local concert and walking up to the drum set and holding on to the bass drum hoop from the front while the guy was playing. And that had a huge impression on me, and it really touched me and changed my life, obviously. So that was a local band and a huge impression and very important memory and a real trigger point in my life to start playing the drums and wanting to play the drums. And then the first real sort of big concert I remember with Frank Sinatra with the Buddy Rich Big Band. Police was a huge thing for me. Then Frank Zappa was a huge thing for me. And then on many, many shows with a lot of great bands, everything from the Rolling Stones to Michael Jackson, all huge, shows for me. So, yeah. First record I bought was Regatta de Blanc by the Police. Yeah. Last record I bought, it was 25 by Adele. Billy Cobb, no. Buddy Rich, no. Sandy Nelson. Sandy Nelson. The first, I had a Sandy Nelson record, Let There Be Drums, was huge. And he was on the cover, of course, with his drum set, and Sandy Nelson, you know, huge letters all over the cover, and that was the first face and drum set I associated with a name. And then shortly after that, it was Buddy Rich, and then not long after that, Billy Cobb. Home. My favorite song on earth. You know, I don't have one. I don't have one. It's I really don't. I love so many songs for so many different reasons. Every song triggers a different emotion in me, and I like all these emotions, you know, and the songs that kind of trigger them and that I associate with certain memories or moments. And I like certain songs simply because for the amazing skill that was required to, you know, compose them. I like other songs because they trigger one specific emotion, nothing else. There are songs that make you angry or feel aggressive or like super positive or really down or mellow, whatever, you know, and I like all these songs for all those reasons. So I don't have a favorite song. And even for each emotion that those songs trigger, I have, you know, many songs. I have many songs that make me feel real upbeat and good, and many songs that make me feel real chill and mellow. So I like the variety, and I couldn't choose one particular song. It would be limiting myself, you know, so I don't have one. Okay. Piano. Same thing. I don't have a favorite drummer. If I had to, you know, which is such a, you know, cliche thing, then I would choose one drummer that inspired me at a very young age, which, for example, would be Buddy. Buddy's always a safe choice to choose as a favorite drummer. But of course, today I love Buddy as much as I did then, but there are so many other drummers that I find inspiring and that I, you know, checked out over the years and love listening to, and that are now friends of mine, for example. So many fantastic players. And it's just like with, you know, choosing a favorite song. I don't have one. I have a huge army of favorite drummers out there. And each one of them has a different personality, sound, approach, ideas, you know, creativity. And I like the variety, and I like to take many different influences from people and work them into my playing. You know, every drummer is different, and if you say you love Steve Gadd, which I do, I love Steve Gadd, but Steve Gadd wouldn't be a great metal drummer, you know what I mean? If you made a metal record, you wouldn't necessarily hire that guy, but what he does in that style of music is just beautiful and inspiring and awesome. If you give me a style, say, you know, rock, I love, you know, Mickey Curry, for example, or Phil Rudd, or I love, you know, Jeff Porcaro and so on. You know, if you go jazz, you know, Jeff Hamilton, for example, Peter Erskine, etc. So every style, many favorites. Yes, I have many hobbies. I have mainly hobbies. Music is one of my hobbies, actually. It's true. It's also my profession, my job, but it's still one of my hobbies. I love listening to music, writing music, playing around, you know, arranging, producing music. I love art in general. I love physics and science very much. That's a huge hobby of mine. I love building things. I like to do everything from home improvement to carpentry to building, actually building, you know, structures, houses, etc. So, and I'm a jack of many trades and a very handy Andy around the house. And I like to get my hands dirty and do things that are very productive and constructive. Do I have a dream? Many, of course. I have many dreams, wishes, and ambitions, I think, like everybody. To become a better person, you know, to become a better musician, to become more efficient in what I do, more successful in what I do, to improve every aspect of my life, my family's life, you know, of course. Everybody has dreams and wishes. One of them would be, for example, to become a singer. I can't sing. I've made records where I sang on records, they're terrible. But, you know, singing is a wonderful thing, and I always wanted to be able to sing. But I never really took singing lessons, so That's an ambition. Not that you'll see me on any stages anytime soon, but it's good to be able to sing well. My life motto is everything in moderation, including moderation. thomaslangdrummer.com. So I want to talk a little bit about my signature stick. It's a Vic Firth stick. It's hickory, 16.5 inches long. It's a very beefy stick. It's white as a tribute to Buddy Rich and the marching tradition. And look, I like recycling, and because there's not much you can do with your drumsticks after they're chewed up like this. This is what a stick looks like after a short while. It gets a little messy.
A short while with Thomas Lang.
A short while with me, exactly. So, but here you can see the beautiful Vic Firth logo and my logo here and my name and my signature. This is called the STL Signature Thomas Lang model. It's got an acorn tip. Look at that. And you know why? Why? Probably not. It has both the characteristics of a sphere and a barrel tip. So it's very dynamic. There's a lot of surface touching the skin when you play drums. So surfaces that give a little bit. The drum head wraps around the acorn tip and covers quite a bit of surface. But on metal surfaces, it has more of a spherical character and a very tiny point of impact. So there's a lot of ping and an attack on cymbals and a lot of volume and surface hitting the head when you play drums. It's the best of both worlds, okay? And this is what it looks like after a little while, after I've chewed on them a little bit. And these serve an excellent second purpose as kindling in my fireplace. So whenever I've got a little fire going on, I just put the used sticks in here just like this. And look how beautiful. Yeah. And we can make a little stick fire. Look at that. Yes. They smell really good too. Oh. It's like Christmas all year round, when I'm using these.
Hey Thomas, what are you watching right now? Well, now it's a break, but
okay.
What have you been watching?
Okay, I can show you what I like watching here. There is a channel called Palladia, and Palladia is a music channel. All you see all day long and all night long is live music, recording session footage. And at the moment I'm watching Led Zeppelin. The song remains the same, of course, a classic, 1976. Oh, I like this show, Live from Daryl's House. It's a great show. Daryl Hall, from Hall & Oates. That's a great show. He's inviting all these guests to his place and they jam and play music and have good food. All the things I like. I like good food, awesome music, good friends and good times. It's all wrapped into that show. It should have been my idea. I'm jealous now.
What does a regular day in the life of Thomas Lang look like when nobody like me is knocking on your door?
Well, my regular day is I get up early. I am an early riser. I make breakfast for the kids. I get the kids ready for school and then take them to school. I drive them to school. And then I come back and I start working in the studio. So I do a lot of recording sessions here. I do a lot of remote sessions and online sessions in my studio here. And if I don't have a session in Los Angeles, somewhere in a different studio, I will be working pretty much all day long in my own studio. And I'll take occasional breaks whenever I want to, which is a luxury, I know. It's very nice. It's very comfortable working from home. I work until the kids come home from school, basically. That's my whole day. And in the evenings, I usually do some writing or some editing, work that's not all that noisy and physically active. And then when I'm not home, I'm on the road usually. So, and I could be anywhere in the world. I go to, perform with bands or play tours with artists, or I do clinic tours or sort of drum festival appearances and things like that all over the world. Pretty much, all the time. I don't do much live playing in Los Angeles, to be honest. Hardly ever have time. Occasionally I do little gigs here and there, but it's mostly recording stuff, which is, a great balance for me because when I'm traveling, I play live all the time anyways. When I'm home, I like to stay in the studio and work only on recorded music.
Can you show us your studio?
Yeah, you want to see?
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's your studio.
This is my my studio, and at the moment I have a very bizarre setup here because my setup changes all the time depending on what I'm working on, and I like to completely change the configuration and add and take away things because it keeps me on my toes, and I find it very inspiring to find or have to navigate new drum set configurations all the time. So you know, it changes all the time. And also I take away tom-toms if I don't need them on a recording. I just move them out of the way so I don't have any ring or any kind of bleed or any microphones in the way, etc. So this is a very simple setup, but as you can see, there's many drums around you, and in this room just stacked and put away depending on what I need and what I'm working on. And this is one of my main kits. This is a DW Maple Mahogany kit right here. I like to play 24-inch kick drums. This is a very unusual setup. Like I said, I've got a really small kind of high-pitched snare and only a 14-inch short stack tom-tom, but a gong drum. That's my secret weapon, this puppy right here. When I run out of stuff to play, I just hit this thing and it goes like that. Yeah, exactly. Enough said, right? So, and this is a great little toy. And on this last song I just recorded, I needed some really sort of substantial low end, so I added this instead of a floor tom. And this is basically my rack tom. This is a 14-inch short stack, which is a very interesting drum. It kind of looks like a snare drum, and but it's my floor tom. And so I've got a kind of a high-pitched sound, a low sound, and then more low sounds, and one very aggressive snare drum. Yeah, and that's my little setup right now.
And over there I see some guitars.
Yes, I've got some guitars and basses here that I use to record. I play bass also, and a little bit of guitar, enough to do certain overdubs and guitar parts, simple things. And I have a MIDI controller, a keyboard there, and I have an Ableton controller over there. So I can work, I use both, you know, I use all software. I use Logic, Pro Tools, and Ableton. Sometimes, you know, I do the final recordings on bass or guitar, and sometimes I do scratch tracks for other musicians to hear kind of what my idea is for a song and replace it with better players. But yeah, I like to get songs as finished as possible before I play them to other people. Hey, thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you around.
Yeah, well, thank you, Thomas.
You're welcome.
Check out thomaslangdrummer.com, and also his books, DVDs, and CDs and equipment. I listed everything below.
And I have a new website coming up.
Oh,
yes. I'd like to mention that Thomas Lang's Drum Universe. It's going to be on my website. You'll find all the links there. It's an online drum school, so go and check it out.
Yes, do so. See you soon.
Bye.